Hey heroes, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of My Hero Academia. Today we've got a fun and unique ranking for you. We're counting down the top 9 tallest students in Class 1A, from towering giants to those who just barely made the cut. Stick around to see where your favorite heroes stand. Iro Kirishima is one of the louder and more outgoing members of Class 1A, but he didn't always start this way. He actually lacked confidence in himself and his quirk, and only reinvented himself in the image of his idol after being accepted into UA. Kirishima stands at 5 feet and 7 inches, or 177 centimeters. Iro Kirishima's shonen-style flashback was inspiring, as he learned to accept his hardening quirk for what it is and make the most of it. Iro took a major step forward when he fought the Shia Hasaikai gang alongside Fat Gum, a battle that prompted Iro to go plus ultra and help his hero mentor triumph over 2 members of the 8 Bullets. Katsuki Bakugo is a bit on the tall side for teenage boys in Japan, since his height comes in at 5 feet and 8 inches, or 172 centimeters. That means Bakugo can literally look down on his shorter rival, Izuku Midoriya, but in recent storylines, Bakugo finally started respecting Deku as a true equal, as his apology during the Dark Deku arc showed. Katsuki Bakugo was gifted with the incredible explosion quirk, allowing him to ignite his nitroglycerin sweat to set off explosions. Bakugo has worked tirelessly to innovate new ways to use that quirk, including devastating moves like Howitzer Impact. He's also pretty tough since he outlasted the villain Serpenters in the movies and shared One for All with Deku as well. The genius Momo Yaoyorozu is Class 1A's smartest member, the vice representative, and the tallest girl. She grew up in wealth and comfort, but Momo didn't dare coast on her upper-class upbringing. She pushed herself to master her tricky creation quirk, which can form any non-living item or material from her bare skin. Momo initially struggled at UA, since her swift defeat in the UA Sports Festival rattled her confidence. Ever since Shoto gave her a pep talk, though, Momo has rallied herself and is a bold leader in Class 1A, as her performance in the joint training arc showed. Momo's team lost to Itsuka's, but Itsuka felt like Momo had personally won. Shoto Todoroki initially comes off as cold and intimidating, which is all explained during the sports festival arc that delves into his childhood and the heavy expectations placed on him. In reality, Shoto has a kind heart and wants to use his powers for good, despite how his father tried to mold his image. He measures up to be 5 feet and 9.5 inches, or 176 centimeters. Shoto's arc has become more personal than ever, mending ties with his father and striving to defeat his villain brother, Toya Todoroki, at any cost. Shoto has come much further than his brothers and sister ever have, and he must set a good personal example for all of them as the Todoroki family's best hope for a happy future together. Hanto is sociable and friendly, easily getting along with many of his fellow classmates. While his tape quirk isn't the most memorable, he's able to use it in creative and versatile ways, to be an effective enough hero in training to make it into 1A instead of a lower class. His appearance isn't especially noteworthy compared to many others, but at least he's one of the tallest in his class, standing at 5 feet and 10 inches, or 177 centimeters. Hanto is a background character for the most part since he rarely steals the spotlight and doesn't take part in some of the anime's most important battles. On the plus side, My Hero Academia fans may enjoy how Hanto is a clear Spider-Man reference, with his tape being akin to Spidey's webbing. Tenya Ida is the third tallest in the class, standing at 5 feet and 10.5 inches, or 179 centimeters. He is the younger brother of the pro-hero Ingenium, or Tensei Ida, who appeared a few times in the My Hero Academia Vigilance spin-off manga series. Tenya and Tensei are quite close, hence Tenya's reckless rage when Tensei nearly dies at Stain's hands. Tenya is also Class 1A's representative, and it suits him, being a bold, expressive boy with serious book smarts and ample discipline. Over time, Tenya has played a more minor role and doesn't stand out much any longer, but he did impress fans in Season 5 with his plus ultra performance in the joint training arc. At first, Koji Koda failed to stand out in Class 1A even with his unusual appearance and impressive height, tying with Rikido Sato in second place among Class 1A's tallest students. He didn't even have any real dialogue at first, but when Koji fought Present Mick alongside Kyoka Jiro, all that changed. Koji gained the confidence to start speaking and use his Ana-voice quirk to its fullest extent, scoring his team a clean victory against Present Mick. He also summoned a flock of birds to help protect his classmates in the Provisional Hero License exam, an impressive feat that only he could have pulled off. Rikido Sato ties with his quiet classmate Koji Koda among Class 1A's tallest students, and like Koji, Rikido is a bit of a gentle giant. He is brave and tough in battle, and he isn't afraid to pummel his foes, but he lacks the aggressive attitude of Katsuki Bakugo. Outside of battle, Rikido is as sweet as his desserts. Rikido Sato's Sugar Rush quirk prompted him to get into baking desserts, much to the pleasure of his female classmates. Unfortunately, Rikido Sato has failed to score any major victories and generally doesn't stand out, but if anime fans are generous enough to pay close attention to him, they will see what an outstanding young man he really is. Mezo Shoji is an incredibly kind person who is willing to risk his life for others if the situation calls for it. The only reason he covers his face is because his outward appearance frightened a young girl once, and he vowed to never be the cause of someone's unhappiness again. He is the tallest member of Class 1A, standing just above Koda and Sato at 6 feet and 1.5 inches, or 187 centimeters. Mezo is tall, but that is not the core of his character arc. He is more fixated on the fact that he is a heteromorph, since society generally rejects such people and they often face mistreatment. That is why Mezzo Shoji is the right person to counter Spinner's uprising of frustrated heteromorphs who want to tear down the society that ostracized them for so long.
Any place that I go, I know you hate that. I've been doing fine. I'm not wasting any more time.